Yo, you guys already know what time it is. You seen the intro, you see the description, and most importantly, you see me. Yes, this is another episode of Freddie Facts
God
on
damn.
the Sports Empire Network. Man, it felt good to say that. It's been a while, man, but hey, what a way to start the show off with three fantastic sports analysts in this media world. First of all, I'm joined by my brother Kyle Edwards. What's going on, Kyle? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you back, Freddie. We'll
Yes,
see how the
sir.
Freddie facts go, but I mean, good to see you at least.
And then at the bottom, I'm gonna tell you, you cannot say nothing, and I mean nothing, absolutely nothing negative about Lamar Jackson without him going off on you. His name is Jordan, but we call him Big J. What's going on, Jordan?
How you doing, man? First of all, in that second intro, or your intro, did you just call LeBron small? Because you had I think you had Aaron Donald LeBron, then you were just laying there like with your hand like this.
Hey, I'm not Pat Beverly. I'm not Pat Beverly.
No, but man, I'm blessed, man. I think my second show on with Big Time. How you doing, brother?
Hold on, I'm gonna introduce him. And then my
I
brother
know
Don't
down,
don't rush.
he needs a
Don't
special
rush.
introduction.
Don't rush. It's
and
coming.
then
Trust me, it's coming.
my brother Doug down there in Memphis, but we call him Big Time because he is big times. If you have not seen his show, the Big Time Show, you are missing out. I promise you, you're missing out. What's up, Doug? How you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, confetti, the crowd goes wild. I'm here. What's going on? Good to be on with all you guys, especially Freddie on his show, and to Jordan and Kyle. It's probably my first time hanging with you guys. We all here. Let's not even waste time. The people that are coming in, they want to hear something. We might as well just go ahead and do it. Let's go.
Before we start the show, I kind of want to go in a different direction. Doug do live in Memphis. We want to send out the love, the prayer for all the ones that's dealing with the situation with the school shootings. Pretty much there and all over the world because that's not a subject that nobody want to talk about. But we want to send out prayers and loves and just hope people take hate out of their hearts, and just put love in it. Do you guys want to touch on that anymore? Or we
Yeah, I
good?
mean, like you said, like we're in a sports world, and you hate to combine the two. You want to strictly stick to sports, but when we're living the life that we're living, we have to combine it. Like you said, Freddie, man, like it's crazy. But I'm glad that the first responders were fast and agile on the situation. I know, cops and stuff have, a little bit of bad stigma about them, but they did a good job with this. And yeah, this sucks, man. But yeah, my heart goes out to all the families and everyone involved. And yeah, yeah, it's a sad time, man. I think the same time last year, it wasn't like a similar shooting or something that happened last year, same exact time around this time. I remember I was at a Yankee game last year, and like they had a moment of silence. I think it was another school shooting. But it's terrible, man.
All right. Let's talk about the quarterback down there in Baltimore. Jordan's team, Lamar Jackson.
Big trust.
We've seen how electrifying this young man is.
Hmm.
And when I say electrifying, he is. When it comes to running the football, making plays, he's won an MVP, won a playoff game. But for some reason, the Baltimore Ravens have shown that they believe in this young man. I mean, hey, at this point in time, who's losing this contract battle? Is it the Ravens or is it Lamar? And this show is Freddie Facts, and I'm gonna start it off because I say nothing but the facts here, y'all.
Okay.
It's 100% absolutely Lamar Jackson. He's losing the race. First off, Baltimore have shown that they don't really believe in him in the beginning because we've seen quarterbacks get paid. And I don't care what you say about him or how you feel about him. We just seen Daniel Jones win a playoff game, and the New York Giants paid him, and a lot of us believe that he got overpaid. We've seen quarterbacks in Kyler Murray, even though he's not really done much in the NFL, but the Arizona Cardinals shown that they believed in him. We've seen Deshaun Watson, who have done little to so much in the NFL. Matter of fact, we've seen a team that was willing to risk the bag for a guy that was out of football for as long as he was, and gave him $200 million guaranteed. If I'm not
I
mistaken,
think 200 something plus. Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the guy, like I said, that's won an MVP, that has won a playoff game. Normally, that gets you the bag in the NFL. But the Ravens, they didn't believe him then, and it looks like they really don't believe in him now. But I've always said that it should be a mutual thing, that the Ravens should want to break up with Lamar, and Lamar should want to break up with the Ravens. Freddie, why do you say that? It's because we've seen the last 2 seasons that Lamar Jackson finds a way to always finds a way to not be healthy. He always get these nicks, these different injuries during the end of the season where he's missing football games. On the flip side of things, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm like, you know what? You have not done like every other quarterback has done. We've seen what the Buffalo Bills done for Josh Allen. We've seen them go out there and get a Stephon Diggs. We've seen what the Philadelphia Eagles did for Jalen Hurts by going to get AJ Brown. We've seen these teams. We've just seen the New York Giants go to get Darren Waller for Daniel Jones. We've seen the Cowboys go get Amari Cooper for Dak Prescott. We've seen multiple times where these teams have bought in for their quarterback and got them pieces. But the Baltimore Ravens have yet supported him for some reason. It's because they are an organization that they believe putting their money in their defense or whatever. So I think it should be a mutual split up, and I think they need to find some way to get this done fast, quick, in a hurry. Jordan, you're the Baltimore Raven on the show. I know you probably didn't like some things that I said, so you have the stage.
Yeah. Where do I start? Yes, you said like you didn't hit the nail on the coffin. He is the most electrifying quarterback in the league. There's no doubt about that with his athletic ability. And there's questions about Lamar in the draft, like with his durability. Like he's a runner. Like how long can he go? I think he's 26 now, 26 years of age. I think that the best possible scenario for Lamar is to stay with Baltimore. We see that team. I get Kyle and Dylan have said, and Gene have said that they might wait for the draft. Team might wait for the draft and they can move. But you've seen, like, okay, I know he put out the tweet or whatever. He requested the trade March 2nd, 5 days prior to the 7th when it was a tag deadline. But teams had ample opportunity to give Lamar an offer sheet. We've seen the Falcons prior to the tag, the Falcons, Commanders, Panthers. They've all said they wanted in, right? The Ravens slapped the tag on them. Teams are out. Even Genius have said, okay, we don't want Lamar. I think the owner of the Falcons came out and was like, oh, with his durability, we want to pay this amount. In my opinion, is if the Browns weren't so desperate with paying Deshaun, Lamar would have got his bag already because he would have been the first quarterback to get that top dollar instead of Deshaun. But now it's messing up the quarterback market for every quarterback. So it's not just Lamar. I know Lamar is the next line to get his money, and I mean you gotta respect the man. He knows what he's worth. The Ravens were smart to put the non-exclusive tag on him because they know what Lamar's worth, and they know that the Ravens know that no team is going to. Maybe it's the Commanders if they have the money, but they know that no organization is going to follow what the Browns did. So in that aspect, the Ravens are playing the card smart. I think Lamar put in the request to push the Ravens to extend him. So people were making a big deal. Oh, he wants out of Baltimore. No. I think they're just kind of forcing the Ravens' hand on extending him. So I don't think it's a farewell post. I don't think it's a farewell tour. He's been on Twitter, so that's just my opinion on it. Yeah, for right now, I want to hear other people.
All right, Kyle. What do you believe, sir?
I mean, the whole situation. You look at it, Baltimore, because we talked about this with the Deshaun Watson contract. Just because Cleveland made a mistake doesn't mean the next team had to necessarily go above that if they felt like that was a mistake on their part. Clearly, Baltimore established early on they weren't going to go that distance to extend Lamar out at some ridiculous number to them. So they've set their line. They placed the tag on Lamar because at worst case he goes out there, Lamar finds a deal, they get 2 first-round picks. I mean, yeah, people might look at them and say, why wouldn't you keep them? But if they were able to get a top 10 pick, because most of the teams who were involved had top 10 picks in this year's draft, which is why I do think a lot of these teams are slow playing it, because the only team that really wants to get this done early is Baltimore. If Baltimore has to wait until after the draft to resolve Lamar Jackson, that we've already seen the hold that's put on their free agency plans. So far, all they did was they brought back a couple of their own guys and they signed Nelson Aguilar. Aguilar is not a difference maker if you bring back Lamar Jackson. He's not. Now, if Lamar goes back there, it's the same team basically with some big pieces that are left. Calais Campbell, who left now in Atlanta, he was a big part of that defensive line. So, I mean, to answer your question, you said who's losing in all this? I think Baltimore's losing. Because Lamar, I mean, worst case, he goes back to Baltimore. If he signs the tag, I mean, he might end up in this situation again next year, which I'm sure is the worst case scenario for him. But if, let's say, Washington or somebody offers him the money that Baltimore didn't want to give him, I can't say he lost in all this. He bet on himself this year. If he gets that big deal, then it worked out for him. Now, the situation he goes to, whether or not it's as good as he had in Baltimore, that's another thing. But I think Baltimore's losing terribly in all of this.
Before I pass it on to Big Time, I want to give a shout out to the chat. Want to thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in. Make sure you follow Doug. Make sure you follow Kyle, Jordan. Make sure you follow the Sports Empire Network and all that good stuff. We appreciate all your support. We are nothing without you guys, and we thank y'all. Big Time. Who's losing the battle? Keep it real with us too, brother.
Y'all guys are all factual in what you're saying, but to me, it's one major fact that I don't think that is mixed in speculation, but I really believe it's the truth. There's no way that the owners of the NFL was going to let Lamar Jackson's contract top Deshaun Watson's. I believe there's a slight bit of collusion that's involved. I believe that they are dedicated because it's not about the talent. There are many teams that would love to have a guy like this on their team. So if he's available and he's worth trading for, then why in the world hadn't it happened? Or why hasn't he been on the block? It's because they know they will not let Lamar Jackson reset the market. Why? Because Herbert is coming right behind him. Because Burrow is coming right behind him. And the numbers would get crazy and crazy. So I just really believe that the owners went ahead and decided to make sure that they got to get some type of control of everything of this. So it's really not about Lamar. It's really not about Baltimore, at least in my view. Kyle, you made a great point, but it's really about they got to get control of this thing before it gets somebody getting paid $55 million a year. They don't want that to happen. So to answer your question, Freddie, Lamar is losing, and he's losing, but because it's the wrong person at the wrong time. Deshaun Watson messed it up for everybody. and they got to get back control of this thing before it gets way out of hand. That's really the bottom line. Lamar is a great player. Everybody knows that. He's a difference maker. Everybody knows that. So it's really not about the talent. It's really just about. I believe there's been some talks. It's almost. I hate to say this, but it's almost kind of reminding me, in a sense, of the way that the owners got together also and went ahead and made sure that Kaepernick would never get back in the league as well. I hate to do that analogy, but we all know that they made sure nobody would sign him. Nobody, whether that's for media rights or whatever. They just trying to make sure that they get it, and Lamar just happened to be the wrong person at the wrong time. Nobody would get $230 million guaranteed. They're going to bring that thing on down. And that's really what it is. So all you guys were right, but I don't want to exclude the fact that I really do believe owners have gotten together and said, hey, we got to really get control of this thing again. That's just my point. I may be wrong.
Yeah, just to pay back off a big time, and that too, like any team that throw that offer to Lamar, I mean, the Ravens couldn't match it unless it's like a ridiculous amount, like 410-year, $400 million contract. No team want to do that. So teams are kind of like skeptical of going out there and giving the Ravens the offer because they know they can match it. They got 5 days to match the offer, and so that's another thing too. Like, why would I waste my if I want to get if I'm the coach, if I can get Stroud or whoever Will Levis at 4, it's cheaper to get a rookie QB for your team, and why waste my time making an offer when the Ravens can match that deal? So that's another part too. But big time hit on the mark, man. Like I was gonna say collusion because it's kind of odd how teams backed out.
I'm gonna say this as well. And the Atlanta Falcons owner came out talking about how they not sure if Lamar is durable to win them a championship and all that BS. Listen, man, hey, you're trying to get somewhere. I mean, y'all haven't done anything since you was in the Super Bowl where you lost that lead. I mean, do not sit up here and disrespect Lamar Jackson like that. You are trying to change the face of your organization. And if I was an owner, Lamar Jackson would be the face of my organization. You are an organization that has been losing, that you're still trying to find out who's your quarterback. You have pieces, but you need a quarterback. And Lamar Jackson can be that guy. Let's not sit up here and act like, Lamar Jackson is just a piece of change or anything like that. This is a guy that is a proven quarterback that even with little pieces that he can still take a team to a playoffs without a number one option. I mean, this is a guy that number one option been a tight end to Mark Andrews, and he's found a way to make it. And that's no disrespect to Mark Andrews, but nowadays, most days, your wide receiver is the quarterback's number one guy. So I'm just saying I don't like that disrespect like that because if quarterbacks are not easy to find, and I understand a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to go through the draft. We got to go through the draft." But let me ask you a question: would you rather have a quarterback that's proven, or would you rather have a quarterback that you're taking a chance on? Because any of these guys in the draft could be a bust. All that we know, but we know Lamar. We know what Lamar Jackson brings to the table.
No, I agree with that.
I get the durability. I get he's missed 2 seasons. Well, Brett said 3 because he got hurt in the Bills game. But I mean, that's a factor. I mean, too. That's a big factor because does the team want to risk throwing him in the bank, even though he's gonna, he's injury? But then again, like he didn't. The plays he got hurt, it's not like he got hit and he injured. He got hit outside the pocket running. You know what I'm saying? Like or he tripped or whatever. So it's not like he got hit, like, sacked and had like a ACL, like a Alex Smith injury. His both were like hit, or one was a PCL. But I mean, I don't.
But Jordan gets more deeper than that, bro. Because what I found so stupid is that Ron Rivera, a guy that coached Cam Newton of all people, that we all question Cam Newton's durability. But you have the nerve to talk about Lamar Jackson. Ron Rivera, don't you remember coaching Cam Newton? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?
No,
And Lamar's
no.
better than Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me
I think,
just throw this in just in the form of a question.
Mhm.
Who doesn't want a generational quarterback?
Anyone would.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what he is. So like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with talent. I believe there's something bigger going on.
I think something behind the scenes going on. Like the owners are talking to
Yeah,
it's a little bit of collusion.
It's market correction. That's what they're trying to do.
that's true. That exactly, Kyle. Exactly.
Like what you mean by that? Market like what?
Well, like Big Time said,
Oh.
if Lamar were to get 250,
Mm-hmm.
you got Herbert, Lawrence, Burrow,
Hurts, right?
Hurts that are coming down the line, and you figure since they are young generational talents in the NFL, they could possibly get more and more and more.
Right.
And let's throw this in, Kyle, since you just said that. Being a Cowboy fan as I am, Dak is getting ready to get another bite at the apple himself.
Mhm.
That's why they're talking contract extensions. Can you imagine if Lamar was to get $250 million, now switch to Dallas, and in about another 2 years, what you were think you Dak gonna ask for? I mean, come on. I mean, it's just gonna keep climbing and climbing, and all these guys are doing. They're just gonna be saying, "No, you go ahead and sign. You go ahead and sign, so I can go higher than you the next time." Because Burrow gonna come and say, "Okay, Lamar won the MVP, yes, but I went to a Super Bowl."
And
You see what I'm saying?
and I'm gonna Big Time. I'm gonna bring this up too, bro. Let's talk about injury. Yes, Lamar's been hurt, and Contrell just brought a great point up, and I wish he would come to the page and say this. But look at I wish I had the numbers in front of me. Deshaun Watson has missed like 2 years in the NFL. You remember he tore his ACL, 1 year.
Was that in college or NFL? He tore his ACL.
I believe it's NFL.
It's NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we all know what he was dealing with off the field. But guess what? It's still missing football games.
It's the whole year.
Yeah.
So, what's the difference?
Did he miss half the year this year?
Yeah, I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, bro, like
the Browns. That's the desperate move by the Browns. Like we all know that.
But and then we all know the quarterback market. Quarterbacks is just about the market. It's about what is the market going for at the time.
Yeah.
Michael, I don't think they're ready for that conversation. So
yeah, that's my coach. Come on in, Coach Bree Love Day. I don't know if Sports Empire ready for that one. That's it.
But you own to something though, Coach. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's another whole hour show right there.
But hey, man. But Jordan, I'm gonna say this, brother. I think the time is coming where you need to say your goodbyes. You need to pack your bags. You need to say, Lamar, we love you, because I just don't see the Ravens caving in. I mean, this is an organization that is not proven to spend money on the offensive side of football. Let's just be honest. This is not what y'all do. If this was San Francisco or the Chiefs or somebody like that, I would expect them to go all in, because they're about offense. Even though San Francisco have a great defense, but their offense, Kyle Shanahan, where he called plays, is big on the offensive side as well. But this is just something that you guys are not known to do.
I think my opinion is, what a story would it be if Lamar comes back, we extend him, and then he goes on like a revenge tour, teams who passed up on him, like y'all miss on the talent, and then we could get D-Hop Sutton out there for a trade.
Bro, y'all not getting D-Hop, bro. I'm just going.
He's in the. I think him and the Patriots, or us and the Patriots, I think, and a couple other teams.
I bet it'll be a team that's not even been
that's why I'm
reported. Like, it's gonna be a team that we're like, wow, where did they come from?
Odell Beckham, he's out there too.
I don't think that's the case. I believe, I don't keep up with the Cardinals or whatever, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't he is this his last year on the contract? If I'm not mistaken, what is he gonna count against the Cardinals cap? Because if it's a huge number, they're gonna cut him anyway. They're just trying to see if they can get something before they cut him.
You talking about D-Hop?
Yeah, D-Hop. They don't want to pay him no the money that he's
I
going.
think he have 2 years on his deal left.
Oh, 2 years. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I could be wrong, but I think it's 2 years though.
I think he had a no trade clause, and then with this whole the DUR, the PED, they took that back. So he had a chance to go to any team he wanted to, but now they took that back because he had that PED that the season. So yeah, they can choose where he can go. So.
Hey, everybody that's watching from my personal page, I see your comments. Please come to the Sports Empire Network page where I can bring your comments on the screen. Like the Gambler, I see you commenting, brother. But come to the Sports Empire Network page and leave your comments.
Yeah.
That way I can bring on the screen. And in a few minutes, we'll start answering people's questions. But we're going to bring it to the next topic. We're going to still talk about Lamar, but we're going to talk about another quarterback. The second best quarterback in the NFL. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is passing him up to number one. But we're going to talk about that bad man. And Aaron Rodgers. We've been hearing all the talk. It's a lot of talk, ladies and gentlemen. We've been hearing all the reports, all the rumors, all this on the McAfee show. We heard it all. Will he be a Jet? Will he be a Packer? Will he retire? Will he do this? What is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? But I have news for you. I have a question for each and one of you. Should the Jets trade for Aaron Rodgers? Or should they get in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes? Let me answer it. 100% they should go at Aaron Rodgers. Let's just be honest. Yes, I know he's older. I understand that. But listen, if you want to win a Super Bowl within the next year or two, you sign that man. You're talking about one of the most accurate passers of the football. You know, I'm really ashamed, Kyle, that the national media is not saying this. Yes, the Jets have done a lot of great moves. Okay, they've done a lot of great moves. I like what their defense is. I love what they're doing on offense. But they have to fix one thing: that offensive line. If they can make that a respectful offensive line, and you get Aaron Rodgers, just like my brother Cottrell said right here, they might win the Super Bowl. Because I'm gonna be honest, they fix that line, they get Aaron Rodgers. I have them right there with the Chiefs, right there. I have them going in the AFC championship game. And you mean to tell me that Aaron Rodgers don't want to redeem himself into the public eyes, to the eyes of the media, of him being that bad man that he is? Because let's not get it twisted. He got beat up in Green Bay. When I say that nobody think of him like we did 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, we saying that he was probably the best quarterback in the game. Nobody's saying that anymore about him because he's kind of built a reputation about him that, well, he can get you to the NFC playoffs, but we seen what he did against San Francisco. We seen what he did against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, he don't come up big in the big games. We've been saying that. I mean, we have, but I believe with the weapons that the Jets, just let this sink in, ladies and gentlemen. The Jets have done more for Aaron Rodgers in one offseason than Green Bay have in a while. Let's just let that sink in. And yes, I know he brought a lot of the former players there, but the Jets still had pieces there as well. They're talking about getting Odell Beckham Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, it's a start. And then let's not forget, if you get Lamar Jackson, your team have to be built for Lamar Jackson. See, that's one thing people don't fail to realize. Baltimore built their team for Lamar Jackson. They changed their schemes for him. So I'm just going to say they need to go all in for Aaron Rodgers. But to me, I think the Jets are being smart. That's why we haven't had no deal. Yeah, because the Packers are trying to hold on to dear God. They trying to hold on. But Aaron Rodgers going on the Pat McAfee show, when he coming out there saying, yeah, it was 90%, I was going to retire. That's a bunch of baloney. He wasn't going to retire. He just came out to say that just to try to lower the value of the trade. Just because he don't want them to go out and give up both of their 2 first-round draft picks. Now, if you can get, let's say if they can make a trade go through for a second or a third, hey, that's cool. Hey, Joshua Bailey, I see your comments, but the Packers have held you guys back for a couple of championships as well. Because even though when Rodgers was playing elite football, your defensive side was giving up leads. Let's not forget that as well. Packers fans easily forget that. Kyle, I see you shaking your head, licking your lips, smiling, smirking, and all of that.
There's so many places I can start with this one. First off, he's not the second best quarterback in the league.
What?
You can
he's
stop
number one?
with that.
You think he's number one?
He's not number one either.
Whoa, where he's at?
He's not even number two in the AFC if he goes to the Jets.
But
not even close.
Who's better than him?
I would take Mahomes. I would take Lawrence. I would take Herbert.
Oh man,
I would take a bunch of these younger quarterbacks over Aaron Rodgers. So
hold on.
You talking about the Aaron Rodgers
hold on.
Has one NFC title.
Hold on,
one Super Bowl 13 years ago. He sits there in Green Bay. When they try to draft on defense, he cries about it.
Kyle, hold on.
Now you're talking about your defense let him down.
Hold on, I'm going to say one thing, then I'll let you go.
Tom Brady had 3 interceptions in that NFC title game. What did Rodgers do with the offense? 3 points?
Hold on, I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle has a lot of bad blood against Aaron.
Hold on. I want to say what I said. Effective immediately, you must be drug test to be a part of the Sports Empire Network. Did you say Trevor Lawrence is better than Aaron Rodgers?
I'd rather have him.
I think Lamar better than Aaron Rodgers, man.
Get out of here.
And to go with Jordan's point, if the Jets are smart, give me Lamar.
See,
you're telling me the Jets aren't built for Lamar? They have Breece Hall at running back, pretty good.
I mean, if
they have decent wide receivers, their defense is good. If they fix the old line, that helps Lamar even more.
I don't
remember who the tight end is, but you can get one of those in the draft. It's a deep tight end class.
Me being a Ravens and like a Lamar fan, I don't want him to go to MetLife because that turf is bad, man. I'm talking about injuries.
Give it a couple of years, they'll probably mandate grass.
But if the Jets want to have like a 2-year short term thing with Aaron Rodgers, because he's like 39, 40, but Lamar's. It's gonna be probably if they're gonna get, it's gonna be a long-term deal because for the future. Now, if Jets want to win now, they both can win now with both quarterbacks.
Win now, take Lamar too.
But no, I think Jets are all in on Aaron Rodgers is a better time.
All Aaron Rodgers will get them is airtime on ESPN. That's all he'll get them.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the top 5 quarterback in the AFC either.
Name me 5 quarterbacks better than him in the AFC, Jordan. Name them.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Lawrence. That's 4, right? 5.
How can you say Lawrence is a better one?
I've seen it. I'm just talking about going right now. Lawrence has done. He's done well in Jacksonville last year. Okay, maybe Lawrence is the one that you might want to argue, but you said number 2 in the league, which I thought was even crazier than just the AFC. I would give you Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Herbert. That's at least 4 better than him right there.
Zach Wilson.
That's at least 4. So at best, Aaron Rodgers is 5th in the AFC.
Bro, do you realize that Trevor Lawrence on a good year
I just said
last year,
Trevor Lawrence might have been
no.
too
You
far.
said it, so now I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say, do you realize that Trevor Lawrence on a good year matched Aaron Rodgers pretty much on numbers on a bad year? But we're going to sit up here and say that Trevor Lawrence is better than Aaron Rodgers. And Herbert.
At least Trevor Lawrence is young and still
right now.
And what has Herbert done in the NFL to make him better than
Herbert's debatable in the AFC. Herbert is.
I'd take Herbert.
And we're talking about
the only thing holding Herbert back is Staley as coach. That's the only thing holding him back.
Kyle, that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. I don't want to hear that.
Aaron Rodgers' whole career is woulda, coulda, shoulda with his one title.
Hey, I want to hear big time because he's a Cowboys fan. Let the big time shut Dr. Freddie up for a minute.
Who would I take?
He's fixing the mic, but he's getting ready.
Who would I take? To me, we can't negate the fact that Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is 26. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't act like that don't make a difference. That makes a huge difference. And that's why I would say now talent wise, Aaron Rodgers is a better thrower of the football, no doubt about that. And whoever the guy is in there, I don't know who it is, but you're talking about a choker. We talking about a dude that been MVP of the league 4 times. I mean,
Josh Allen, sorry about Josh Allen.
this dude is great. You can't deny that. Now, but for long term, the reason why I appreciate you, West Coast Cowboy. Listen, let me tell you something. If I had the choice, the way Aaron Rodgers is built mentally, it's just you just don't know. The way he talk, if he gonna play the whole year. That's the way I feel about it. And at the end of the year, you already know it might be his last year. So if you comparing the two, yeah, Freddie, I agree with Rodgers and that defense. I didn't hear nobody say nothing about that. That's a top 5 defense in the league. Rodgers with this defense, yeah, you probably could win the Super Bowl. But you saying that you have to change your game with Lamar. Well, the last time I checked in the league, a strong running game and a great defense would just about win you a Super Bowl. So really, to be honest with you, is the bar so far between Rodgers and Lamar that you just got to dismiss Lamar? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that far at all. So what I'm saying is that just based off longevity, I know at least I got another 8 years with Lamar Jackson with this team, this young team, and this young defense. Based off that, they can win the Super Bowl with Lamar this year, just like they can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. But I also know they can also win the next 2 or 3 years with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback. So just based off the common sense that we know that Rodgers not going to play no more than 1 or 2 years. That's it.
But big time, do you? Because I mean, let's not sit up and act like Lamar Jackson don't have a accuracy issue. I mean, he's
great.
That can be fixed.
He's depending on who you comparing him to. No, he's not as accurate as Aaron Rodgers is, no question. He's not as accurate as Mahomes is, but I mean, let's go. I mean, keep naming the names. I don't even understand everybody saying Lawrence, even Kyle there. You got to give me more than 1 year. I'm sorry. 1 year.
Agree with you. I said Lawrence was too far.
You can't climb that high of a ladder off just 1 year. And Lamar, I'll take Lamar before I take Trevor Lawrence without question. And I would take Lamar over Joe Burrow. I would take Lamar or even over Josh Allen. I would take him over that because I'm saying his resume is pretty good. He just hadn't won the Super Bowl yet.
Allen don't have the MVP.
I mean, I don't agree with Burrow, but
it just depends on what you like. And I understand. Right. But Lamar ain't no joke. You can win the Super Bowl this year, Freddie. If you put Lamar Jackson there with the Jets, with that defense, with that running game, they can win the Super Bowl this year. Just like if you put Rodgers there. I agree. Rodgers can win you the Super Bowl too. But I want Lamar for about another at least 6-7 years rather than having Aaron for just 1. That's what's going to end up happening there.
Yeah, big time. You made a good point. In order to win a Super Bowl, you have to have a good running game and a good defense. I mean, what's the difference for the Ravens from the Jets? I mean, they still got Dobbins. They still got, Ravens are run heavy and they're defense heavy. So, I mean, why would Lamar leave Jets for a similar situation?
I'd take the Jets defense over the Ravens defense.
Right? What? Roquan Smith?
I would take the Jets defense.
Oh, stop it, man.
I would take the Jets defense.
Nah. Jets, do you realize they have our players, right? CJ Mosley, right?
Defense you can throw on them. The Jets defense.
I mean, all right. What happened against game 1, week 1, Ravens versus Jets? We destroyed them.
Week 1.
Okay, it's still the Jets defense. Lamar threw 300-something yards over them.
That was week 1.
Still Jets defense.
Every NFL team in week 1.
No, I'm not taking Jets
than they did mid-season and at the end of the year. He wouldn't have done that against the Jets.
Humphrey, no. Maybe Sauce Gardner. Yeah, he had a nice 1 good year. I mean, he's still young. You know what I'm saying?
Just talking about Sauce Gardner like he's nobody. in one nice year.
No,
Okay.
no, he won Defensive Player of the Year. I
He'd
get
be
that.
the best cornerback in Baltimore. Easy.
I mean, but
Listen
come
up.
on.
Let's transition to the before
Come
we
on.
transition into the NBA. I want each one of you guys to throw out your social media platforms where people can find you and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Jordan, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. Well, my original account is JJL underscore XL. And then my podcast Instagram page is JJL underscore sports underscore talk. You can find me on there. TikTok. I mean, I got TikTok. I think it's JJL Sports Talk Show on TikTok. And then, yeah, I'm on there. I got my podcast, my sweatshirt, the sweatshirt here, the podcast
Man
shirt.
came
So.
ready to go for that.
You can hit the link in the bio, get a look at the episodes, and buy some merch.
All right, Kyle.
I mean, the easiest, I guess, would say YouTube, chomping at the bit. If you go to the About tab, you'll find all of them there. I don't need to go through all of them because, I'm on basically all of them. Just go there is the easiest way to find me.
All right, Big Time.
Hey, it's easy. Go to the Big Time Show. I just used two of them. The Big Time Show on Facebook and the Big Time Show on YouTube as well. And let me throw this in for those that are watching on the YouTube. You'll notice for the very first time, I just became a YouTube partner program. So for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the super chat right there. Now, we've been watching stuff for 2 years and all that. I've added in. Some of you guys have always wondered how you can, help out. For the first time, go ahead and use that. Right there. Now, let me congratulate myself on all the hard work I've done. So there it is. I'm on YouTube in the partnership program. So the podcast just went up to another level. On that, my son just turned the light off and he just turned it back. I'm already dog. Look, I'm already like smoke. But Big Time Show, that's all you have to do. Go to YouTube, subscribe to everybody here. Go to subscribe to everybody here. The network is growing. The network is growing, strongly. Support all these gentlemen here, and let's take us higher here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the link to my bio, or like the link to all my stuff is on my link in my bio on my Instagram page. So that's all there.
Yeah, shout out to you, Joshua. Definitely be in touch. We definitely do a collab very soon. Make sure you guys follow the Sports Empire Network as well. Just like these gentlemen said, we have a lot of big things coming. We have 3 new shows coming to you this week. We're dropping our morning show. That's dropping Monday. We're dropping our Sports Center style show starting next week as well. A lot of great things. And me and Gene have something in the works as well. So just stay tuned.
Speaking of which, let me throw that in. I don't know why you and Gene, if y'all want to make it incredible, I mean, y'all good, but if you want to make it flat out incredible, there's only one way to do it. That little top square right there in that top right, it says Big Time. I ain't got nothing to say. It would be too incredible.
Hey, we'll see what
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know how I do, Big Time. You speak, I make it happen. You know how I roll.
I don't know. I don't think there's not enough mics for Gene.
Hey, Big Time. Big Time. You know I don't let things roll, so you begin to text me very, very soon. All right, let's get to the NBA, you guys. Hey, I think this is one of the best NBA seasons we've seen in a while. We see a lot of parity in the league. We see a lot of, even like it's no more 1 through 4 is your best teams in the league now. Literally 1 through 10 can win the championship in the West. And there's been a battle. The battle of the big man is back. Let me say that again for the people in the back that can't hear. The battle of the big man is back. We have Jokic, Denver Nuggets, Joel Embiid, Philadelphia, and we cannot forget Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Milwaukee Bucks. As of today, March 30th, 2023, 6:18 p.m. Central Time, Who is the MVP?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask a different question, man. I thought it was like who's gonna. I thought you were gonna ask who's the AC in the West. Oh my
And I'm gonna let Doug
Mm,
start off on this one.
mm. Ooh-wee. Well, the MVP usually goes to the person number one that has the best record. That's number one. That's where it always have been, or has it been somewhat of a surprise team, a player that came out surprise team. So I'll just give you mine. Number one, I ain't gonna say number one. My candidates are, without a doubt, Giannis, Joel Embiid, and I believe that it's going to also come down to the Joker. Now, when you look at the Bucks, they're 55-21, but then when you look at the Nuggets, who are on top of the Western Conference, they're 51-24. I'm going to bypass all that. To me, the MVP this year has been Joel Embiid. That's me. Everybody is deserving. Everybody has a case without a doubt. But number one, Joel Embiid has been there. He has carried the 76ers, no doubt about that. When Harden was out, they didn't pretty much lose a beat. They're 50-26 themselves. Joel Embiid has put this team on his back, and he has been flat out outstanding. Giannis is the same, but I think that Giannis is a case where everybody gets tired, the same old thing. And I believe the Joker is also going to get mixed with that as well. And I just believe that after these last 2 seasons, or maybe even 3, that Joel Embiid is going to get the nod this year for MVP, although he does not have the best record in the entire league. So I really believe that it's Joel. That's just me.
Kyle?
I agree with big times candidates. I think it's going to come down to Giannis, Joker, Embiid. I also agree. I think Embiid finally gets his this year because if you look at the narratives that Big Time also brought up, Giannis, we know how great he is, how great Milwaukee is, the organization and all that. Denver, we know how great that team could be. There's still that narrative about them. Can they do it in the playoffs? But we know it's a regular season award. Embiid, if you look at Embiid, a lot of the narratives around him are what he's lacking. Doc Rivers, as a coach, most Sixers fans want him gone. Embiid went through the years with Ben Simmons. That didn't work. Harden hasn't been, Houston prime Harden all season, yet they're still up there. Tobias Harris hasn't lived up to the contract, but Embiid still has them up there. Maxi's been kind of up and down this year. I kind of expected more from him, but you could kind of look at that as Doc might be holding back Maxi too. So I think if you look at it, plus the years when they thought he was going to win it, Giannis ran off, 2 back-to-back. Then you thought, okay, now it's Embiid's time. Joker wins back-to-back. So I feel like the voters are going to try to correct the wrong and give Embiid MVP this year. As long as they are like top 3 in the East for how difficult the East has been, I don't think they need to be necessarily the number 1 seed for Embiid to get it, but I think he wins it this year.
All right, Big J.
Well, first of all, Freddie kind of segued into this segment perfectly. I'm the perfect guy to answer it. I'm Big J. You're the bigs. But yeah, I mean, this race it's been tight. It's been kind of I guess you can throw in Giannis, but it's been kind of a 2-way race in Jokic and Embiid. I think it's gonna. Why wouldn't it gonna be Jokic? Because that game that Embiid didn't play, that was the second meeting. I'm talking about like the game like a couple of days ago. That was his like
the one on Denver. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, I know. Well, I think Embiid won the first one. I think that first matchup. But that was kind of like his come out to the party kind of like, oh, I'm better than you, like going to his house and proving, his. So that's I kind of get that advantage over it because Jokic has really played all game or all year. I mean, and plus big time made a good point saying like the records matter. They kind of Jokic has kind of helped Denver hold that number 1 seed in the West.
He been slipping though.
Oh yeah,
Denver's been slipping, so that's why he lost steam. At some point, it was not even a question. Was Jokic the MVP? That kind of died down now.
Yeah, but I think the NBA might give it, or I think they're probably gonna give it to Embiid. But I think the winner is probably gonna be, it's gonna be Jokic at the end of the day. But it's gonna come down to the last couple games. And, we got 5 or 7 games left, so if Embiid can stay healthy.
All right, Jordan, stop sugarcoating. Stop sugarcoating. Let me bring some facts. Let me bring some facts to this conversation. Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. There's only one player in NBA history that has won the MVP and missed the same amount of games as Joel Embiid this year. I don't think it's going to be a second. I really don't. Just like I big time criticized the Nuggets for slipping, I'm going to criticize Joel Embiid for not being available to his team. Number 2, I can make a point that Joel Embiid's team is way better. He had better teammates. Nikola Jokic don't have a James Harden. He have Jamal Murray. He's good, but this is a year that he came back off injury. Michael Porter Jr. is good, but he's not James Harden. The offense goes through Nikola Jokic. The Nuggets go wherever Jokic lead them. And even when he was losing, he was still putting up numbers. He was still putting up numbers. I mean, come on, you guys. Let's not fall for it. We all want to see Embiid take it to that next level. We want to see him win it. But he had an opportunity to shut us up, put us to sleep. To put us to sleep. And he ran from the matchup. Do you realize the last 3 years the Philadelphia played in Denver? Joel Embiid have dug the matchup. Why is that? Why can you play in Philadelphia but you can't play in Denver? Can you answer that, Doug?
He didn't play. Yeah, that's just the bottom line. They called his name. They put the bat signal up. He hid in the cave. He was nowhere to be found.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
let me ask you a question, Doug.
Jokic was right there in center court. They put out some dude from the G League out there. I don't know who he was.
Hey, Doug, let me ask you a question. We have a guy that's played for our franchise, and Kobe Bryant. And if there was a big matchup, let's say LeBron was coming to town, and he hear all this chirping, would Kobe say, you know what, I can't play tonight. I'm taking the night off.
And Kobe
wait a minute.
3 hours before the game.
Hey, let me add this to it. Or if the organization said, Kobe, we're not gonna let you play tonight. Shh.
Man, please. Kobe would have been out there front and center, man.
That was too big of a game for him to miss. Because that would have been the moment to say, okay, y'all, I'm gonna put 45, 15, 2, 3 blocks on him. And I'm gonna show y'all why I'm the most dominant big man in today's game.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal would have done the same thing. That's why I can't give the MVP to him. Because Jokic has been more available. And even though he's going through those losing droughts, he was still putting up those big numbers. The team is not as good as Phillies, and they're number 1 in the West. And look how loaded the West is, you guys. Just think about, like, through the East, we only think about 4 or 5 teams in the East. Let's just be honest when it comes to championship aspiration. But literally, there's 6 or 7 teams in the West that have a chance. I'm not going to say they're going to win it, but they have a chance. They have a chance to get hot at the right moment.
You think there's 6 or 7 in the West, really?
Yeah, I really do.
Wow.
So
I think it's high, but okay.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, let's go through the list. Denver, championship caliber team, correct?
Yeah.
Even though the John Moran situation went through, but he's back.
Yes.
Phoenix.
If KD can stay healthy, yeah.
But I'm not talking about saying, oh, I'm talking about they have aspiration.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Do you believe in Sacramento? I mean, they're top seeded team.
See, those are the teams that people are going to go out there because they don't have experience.
Let's just put them there because they are number
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
They are number. We have to give them the respect.
I mean, they're 3 or 4, right?
We're going to talk about them in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, the Clippers. Let's say they win the first round of PG, come back. He look like Paul George. Are we going to count that team out?
Mm-hmm. No.
That's 5 right there. Okay, that's 5 right there. Golden State. Are we going to sleep on Golden State? I mean, this is a team that has been through this battle tested, you guys. They're battle tested.
Yeah, I'm not fully counting them out. It's going to take a lot for them, but I'll give you that one. I'll give you Golden State.
And then I hate to say this next team because I know one person go.
He's already doing it. He's already doing it.
But you can't sleep on LeBron James and his Lakers team neither. I'm just saying, bro, you can't sleep on them. You can't sleep on them. I'm just saying, you can't.
You can't.
I guess you can if you've already been slept on them because I've been out on them all for a few months. But okay, you name 7. Saying, I'll let you keep the 7 that you got.
I'm just saying, do you want me to go? I really don't want to go more in depth because we still have more topics, and I don't want to go on those topics because. But I'm just saying the West is loaded. And for them to be number 1 and him leading them to be number 1, that's very impressive to me.
Yeah.
Do anybody want to rebut on that? Or are y'all good?
I mean, you kind of said my point. Like that game he missed, that could have been his prove it. That I'm the MVP. And then, but is that more on? Because I think
hold on, Jordan. Maurice, when it come to anything, I'm the legend. Around this park, sir. Yeah, it's why the show is called Freddie Facts because I keep nothing but the facts.
Hold right there. Hold. I didn't say nothing, but please let's not do that. When he's talking legend, I ain't got to say it. Y'all know. I am that guy. What I'm saying? It's your show, Freddie, but please, let's we're talking preliminary matches, then we're talking the main event. You understand? Hey, I am that guy. Let's not.
You might be the main event, Doug, but I'm the one that called him to come out to the party. Let's not get it mistaken. I'm just saying.
It's your show, Doug. Go ahead.
I just want to bring up one stat though, because you talked about availability with Embiid.
Go with it.
Yeah.
So Giannis has played 60 games this year. Embiid's played in 62. Joker's been in 67, I believe. It's not like it's that big of a gap between Embiid and Jokic. I just want to say, because I know you said availability for Embiid is an issue.
Well, Jokic
they've all basically played about the same amount.
About the same. It's not the same.
I was gonna say, like, is that more because I think he in the group chat he said Embiid wanted to play. So is that more on Embiid's fault or is that load management?
Jordan, let me ask you a question.
I don't play with that. If you miss the game, you can't come out after and be like, I wanted to play. If you wanted to play, you are the guy in that franchise.
No, I didn't say that. Keith said that.
Jordan, let me ask you a question. If Kobe Bryant, if the Lakers told him that you're not playing, what is Kobe going to do?
Kobe's going to play. Yeah.
Okay, then. I don't want to hear that.
No, but today's game is different with load management, man. Like, do you think
Kobe in today's game, you're not going to sit him out. I'm just saying.
I agree.
Hey, he could go right up there to Jeannie, say, Jeannie, I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Rob,
I don't know what the hell you talking about. Darvin, get out of my way. I'm playing.
If Embiid wanted to play bad enough, you tell me he can't go to Doc Rivers and be like, look, I know you want to give me the night off, but I need to be in this game. You don't think Doc would have put him in the lineup? Because I saw the video that he was in the arena, then he left or whatever. Like, whatever. Don't come out after the fact like I wanted to play. I don't want to hear that from any of these players.
You
didn't play. That's it.
Let's touch it. Hey, let's touch on another topic real quick. We won't stay on it too long, but because we got more juicy topics. But you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've heard teams and read reports that these teams want to go after Sacramento. We heard that the Lakers want to play Sacramento in the first round. We heard Golden State want to play Sacramento in the first round. How far do you predict Sacramento going in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Kyle, I'll let you start off with this one.
I have been a fan of
Hold on,
Sacramento.
hold on.
Okay,
Before you
go ahead.
go, real quick, I want to show them
Hmm.
some. And I hate doing this because I'm a Laker fan. We can't stand Sacramento. We remember the cowbells. We remember all that.
Yeah.
We put them to rest 20 something years ago. Um, and I think the NBA would love a first round with the Lakers and Kings. I'm just going to be honest with you. That would be electrifying. Could you imagine two California teams, the history that those teams have in the playoffs? I mean, that right there would be a great first round. But give a shout out to Sabonis and Darren Fox, Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. Got to give them love. They had an amazing year. Darren Fox finally had a coming out to the party type of season this year.
Did they clinch already?
Yeah,
Did
they already
clinch?
clinched. They yeah,
Okay.
they can lose the rest of their games. They're still number 2, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I believe that's the case. That they're pretty much locked in. But just want to give them their love. Now, Kyle, I'm sorry, you can have the floor now.
No, absolutely, because I have been a fan of Sacramento this whole year. With Mike Brown going over there, the job he's done. Most people felt when Sacramento had that hot start, oh, they'll just fall off at Sacramento. No, they've stayed there while Phoenix has made their improvements, Memphis playing as they have, Denver and all that. Sacramento's been in the conversation. I definitely believe Mike Brown will be coach of the year, and that's even with my guy Missoula, the job he's done in Boston off of the Ime stuff. But I can't deny Mike Brown what he's done with that group. I've been a fan of De'Aaron Fox as well. I've thrown in your face a few times, Freddie, the Lakers should have taken him over Lonzo Ball, but I'm not going to go down that road again. So it's good to see him put up numbers and people actually care because the team is good. He's always been a good player, but the Kings have been irrelevant so much. Who really cared about him? Sabonis, great all-around player, was an all-star
Oh
this
my
year.
God, you sickening me with this King love. Oh my God, I can't stand. Good Lord.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
keep going.
you get the feeling that I get when y'all be going on with the Lakers. So I got to even it out a little bit. But in terms of the first round, the only worry I would have with them is if they went up against a Laker or a Warrior team that's more veteran and more battle tested. For Sacramento, this would be their first time as a top seed. All the pressure that comes with that. I don't know if those two teams would be the best matchup for them. But I also think if Sacramento were to get past the first round, they could be a dangerous team because they would kind of learn the playoff atmosphere through the first round, and they get past that, they might be better for it. But I don't think if they had to face the Warriors or Lakers, I would be probably inclined to go with the upset. If they get somebody else, I think the Kings will be fine.
Bingo. Let me just jump it in because my take won't be long at all. Listen, with the entire Western Conference, this is truly one of these years where the matchup, when you're talking about a 7-game series, this is one of the I haven't remembered a year like this. You used to look at every series and say, okay, they're the better team, they're gonna win. But in this year, I mean, anybody can get it. The 8th seed playing the 1 seed is not gonna be a cakewalk, especially if the Lakers are there at the 8th seed. Trust me, the Denver Nuggets do not want to see the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. Whoever number 2, the Grizzlies, do not want to see the Lakers in the first round. I'm just saying, so from 1 to 8, it's really about matchups. So to answer your question, Freddie, it really all depends on who they're playing. Sabonis is a great finesse player, but if he had to tackle somebody like AD or the kid from Phoenix, listen, you're going to get your brain kicked in. That's just, and Sabonis going to be done. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's really all dependent about the matchups. I agree with you, Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, y'all both said it like for me. Like, you know, it's just all about the matchups. I mean, I think any team in that like 7 to 10, maybe 8 to 10 range want the Kings because, like you said, Kyle, and your take, like you said that, you know, the Lakers are a more seasoned team. They got LeBron and AD, so teams wanna, you know, go after those young guys. And for the Kings, that could be an upside because like they're young, they might be quicker. But if you're putting up, if you're putting Sabonis against AD or Sabonis against LeBron, who's gonna win that matchup? LeBron. I mean, so team. It's not just the Lakers, the Warriors. They don't want to see. I mean, the Kings don't want to see the Warriors. So I feel like, and like Big Time said, like and Freddie said, like the West is wide open as far as like 1 through 8. Or 1 through 10, I guess the plan. I guess you want to kind of factor the plan, but this is about matchups. And in the playoffs, besides the plan, it's a 7-game series. So the series slows down. So it's not like baseball where it's like the wild card where you get one game and you're out. It's a 7-game series. So
this ain't the NCAA tournament.
Exactly. So it's like best out of 4. So I mean, the playoffs slow down, and that's where you get beaten down. So if Katie can stay healthy, they don't want to see the Suns. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's wide open, and I mean that's what I like, man. Wide open teams, man. So it's gonna be a good playoffs.
But also, those teams can't take Sacramento lightly either.
Oh no, yeah, that's
There's
what
one
I'm
thing
saying.
they can do. They can fill it up. They may not stop any of them, but they can fill it up on offense.
You're right. Like the Kings can learn as they go. You know what I'm saying? Or if they get back to the first round, they might say, "Oh yeah, we're kind of cocky."
But I will say this though. Mm-hmm. One thing about Sacramento, we seen this with Dallas a few years ago. A team that comes in there with no expectations, because Sacramento don't have expectations to win a championship. But they can be the most dangerous team.
I'll carry it even step. I even carry it a step further, Freddie. When you're talking about a 4 out of 7 series, this is when your coaching matters.
That's true.
And they will. And when you start talking about somebody like Mike Brown, you are talking about one of the better coaches in the league who knows how to adjust. He's been in too many championship rounds with Golden State being an assistant and with Cleveland. This dude knows what he's doing. So that's when the coaching part comes into play with the adjustment. Mike Brown wanted the best. So you're right. Sacramento can't be just pushed aside, Kyle. Yep. You're absolutely correct. Mike Brown would make a difference in a series, no question about it.
Now, did Mike Brown come from Popovich's system too?
He came from Kerr's system too. So.
Exactly.
I mean, Popovich and Kerr can't do any worse than that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next topic. On last night, the Lakers beat the Chicago Bulls 121 to 110.
I got me money last night, man.
We're going to talk about the one and only Anthony Davis. A lot of people in the media have been critical of AD. A lot of people on social media has been critical of AD. A lot of people in the Laker Nation has been critical of Anthony Davis, including that man right there and Mr. Doug.
Oh, I thought you meant Kyle.
But I think it's time. But the question is it time to put AD back in the conversation? I'm not saying that he's better. I'm just saying, is it time to put him in the conversation of the Joel Embiid, of the Nikola Jokic, of the Giannis's? I'm not saying better in the conversation, because we've seen AD lead this Lakers team to keep him afloat while LeBron was gone. And I'm going to tell you it's pressure. Doug, he was feeling the pressure, my brother. When I tell you that he was feeling the pressure, I can tell you, I felt for him. I think all Laker Nation felt the pressure that was applied to Anthony Davis. I'm going to let Doug go first on this one, because Doug.
Oh, man. Y'all wanted it. Okay. So for you to even ask this question really answers the question. Should he be back? We talking about a dude that's got voted into the all-time 75th anniversary team. You shouldn't even be answering this question. Is he an elite big man? The world says, the NBA scholars say he's one of the greatest of all time. But for you to have to ask that question lets you know what the state of his game is. So should he be elite? No. No. And I'm the biggest hard Laker fan that there is. No, he shouldn't be, because I need this more consistently. Yeah, this nice little 2-week period has been great. It's just shown the flashes of what he can do, no doubt. He's more than capable of doing it. But for us to be asking this question says that he hadn't been consistent. Now, that's just the truth. He has not been consistent. He is not he's still first team all NBA street clothes. He's still that. There ain't no doubt about that. He's a back member of the all street clothes team. He stays hurt. There's no question about it.
He did pretty good this year, though.
Well, he still was hurt enough, but he has. Let's go. He's picked it up later. I was upset when the Lakers were down that he missed that game against Houston when he should have played, because the time was called for it to answer the bell. Forget your little, I gotta have low man. No, we 10th and 11th out the, we out of the playoff. We need to get on the roll. LeBron is gone. You the man. We got to get on the roll. I'm not dependent on Austin Reeves to carry me to the promised land. I need my horse in. Yes, he has played well. But for you to ask that question, and he's on the all-time 75th team, he's there. For you to ask that question, that lets me know right there he ain't that guy right now. So that's just my take.
So let me ask you a question, Doug. Because other night when we lost against Chicago the first game, he only had he only took like 8 shots, something like that. Only had like 15 points. Robert Ory, I don't know if any of you guys listened to any of the Spectrum interviews or anything like that. I don't know if you heard it, but Robert Ory kind of went in on him and Darvin Ham. And he pretty much said that this is the second time, that Darvin Ham had to come out so that he have to do a better job running plays for Anthony Davis. And he said, "Screw that, man. You too late in the season to be having these conversations." He said it's too easy. He said when we had Shaq was the type of player, even though we had a play drawn up, that he would break plays, say, "Give me the ball and dominate." And he said that's what Anthony Davis needs to do. But he also said that Darvin Ham, it's too late for you to come out with these excuses talking about you have to run more plays for him because it's too late in the season for that. So my question to you, Doug, is who do you really blame? Because
you ain't got to answer the question. I'll tell you I blame. AD, I'll use your same analogy that you used before. If it was Kobe Bryant, do you think Kobe Bryant would have shot 8 shots the game? No. He would have said, "Give me the ball." All AD had to do was go post up, demand the ball like Shaq did, like Kobe did, like Kareem did, and we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Even Powell
did it. That's on AD. Forget Darvin Ham. He wasn't calling plays for Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell and all these other guys is there. AD was playing. They doubled him. He passed it out. Nobody don't want to see Beasley shoot threes all day long. AD is on AD. It's time in seasons where you have to be the dog. You got to be the man. AD for that night was ridiculous. Last night, however, he was the dog that we've been looking for. You can't be inconsistent. And let me say this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. For those that are watching this replay, if you made it this far, Anthony Davis was voted on the NBA all-time 75th anniversary team. When you're on that team, you are recognized as one of the men. You are the man. For you to be asking this question, lets me know he's the man at times. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna let Jordan answer this before because I know Cal's gonna go through this rampage. I'm gonna let Jordan get his 2 cents out of there before we let Cal go. 'Cause I can see it in his eyes.
So the question is about like just Lakers in general, or just
No,
about like
no,
their
no. Is it time since we've
oh
seen AD kind of carry this team while
oh
LeBron's
to
out?
be
Is
in
it
that
time to put him in
Saying
that
conversation.
conversation?
should you be put
So
into as an
oh
elite big man? That's what the
Hmm.
question.
oh yes.
Hmm.
So like if you would put AD with the Jokic and the Embiids, I mean if you would have asked me that like before he got hurt before the All Star break, I would have said, oh yeah, he's in that conversation. And like I mean like we do have to give credit to AD, like you said, Freddie, like because LeBron went down. There's reports saying that he would be out probably 2 3 weeks, and AD did hold it down when he could. I mean, then the Lakers, he had to give props to the Lakers for recreating this roster with adding Russell. I mean, like even though he missed a couple games, but yeah, I mean,
Jordan, you dancing, sir. Is he an elite big man or not?
yeah, he's an elite big man because if not, we would have been way out of the playoffs. He would have been 13th in the West instead of eighth in the West. Because yes, I would say he's an elite big man. Yes,
All right, Cal.
Kyle taking he
All right.
disagrees from me.
I feel like you think I'm gonna go a certain way with this. I'll tell you this. I agree with big time. AD, I've been on the AD train. The problem is when the moments are there for him to show people, he usually fades away from the spotlight. And he'll have a game where he just has like 12 points, 8 rebounds, and you'd be looking at it like, what happened in this game? So for AD, the talent's always been there. It's always been about his heart. Whether it's, I don't know if he's scared to be dominant all the time. I don't know what it is, but for the talent that he has, he should be. Because I'll go back to Jordan as well with this one. Early in the year when he had that weak stretch and Jordan put in the chat MVP. Of course, I was like, not a chance. But you can't tell me with the skill set that AD has, he should not be in the MVP conversation year after year. As talents go for big men, what big man has the handles that AD has, the offensive bag that he has in terms of the post, mid range, I mean, occasionally to the 3 point line, the defensive presence that he has shown to have. A lot of big men don't have that, but there's a lot of big men. I mean, in terms of the elite category with Jokic and Embiid, they do it over the course of the season. AD will give you a week here, then there'll be a couple of games where you're like, AD, what are you doing? Then he'll give you 2 games here. Then it's like, what are you doing, AD? Then he'll give you a week. And it's just like, put together the whole season. I'm not even talking about the whole injury history either, because we understand what that is, whatever. But when he's on the court, it should be line up on the box, put the hand up, force them to throw you the ball, and do work. Simple. And to go with your other question, I don't put any of that on Darvin Ham. That's all AD. You are on the court. If the team needs a basket and you have the mismatch, you put your hand up. They're going to throw you the ball. They're not going to be like, oh, we're supposed to run the play that Coach Ham called. For what? You have the matchup. Take advantage of it. So that's it.
Yeah, that game we lost on the first game against the Bulls. We should have won that one because Vucevic went
I
down with
told
the
you that.
ejection.
I told you that on your show, Jordan. AD should dominate Vucevic.
Well,
Vucevic is not a guy.
but I'm
he got booed at the game the first game, so we should have took that back.
well. I'm gonna say this. I didn't think we was gonna win that first game. I really didn't. The reason why I
The
say that is
turnovers
because
too.
well, it was LeBron's first game. That was the second time these guys have played with LeBron. If we're being honest, since the trade deadline, and LeBron wasn't really being LeBron. I mean, that was the lowest time this year that he's ever ran a pick and roll. He couldn't lot to do it because he's coming off the bench. He didn't play with AD. D'Angelo didn't play, and the team was kind of figuring itself out. And with them having 2 days of practice, we seen kind of last night that how they ran things the way they wanted to, and they're getting better. But I expect this team they had to build chemistry, and that's what these next 5 or 6 games of the season is going to have to be about chemistry, because they're going to have to learn how LeBron wants the ball. LeBron going to have to learn how they want the ball, and they're going to have to. But the main thing is they have to play through Anthony Davis, even though LeBron is still back. Like, yeah, AD LeBron is back, but we still need dominant Anthony Davis, because if the Lakers going to do anything, if they're going to do anything, it has to be through him. And I want to give a shout out to my dude Tony. Here he comes with all the hate, all the shade, because I already know it's coming. It's coming.
He ain't lying, no, Freddie.
But
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
but I'm gonna say, Doug, he's got it better this year, bro.
I'm a Laker fan, but it's the truth is the truth, man. You know it's the truth.
Hey, let's change the tip. Let's go to another team in the West. Let's talk about the Warriors. Listen, man. This is a team that people is ready to write off. They have had ups, they've had downs. They have ups, they've had downs. I mean, heck, they've been missing Andrew Wiggins for like 20-some games now. But are you ready to write off the Warriors?
Oh, that's too far.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The Warriors still scare me. There's something about them. It's because they've been there before. They're battle tested. Like, I don't think there's nothing a team can throw at them that they've never seen before. Like, they know. I believe that they can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? Let's go on a run. Let's go for a championship. And right now, as weak as the West is, I really believe that they feel like they still have a chance. Because I was watching them the other night playing against the Pelicans. They was down by 20. And they did not look phased. They didn't look phased. And then the second half, they just turned it on. And then it was over. I'm not ready to write them off just yet. I'm just not. I mean, I think whoever is will be foolish too, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Because they run a system, and they run this system no better than just about anybody in the NBA.
Yeah, and plus another piece is not really playing. Wiggins, he's coming back probably soon, so that's another piece to the puzzle too that they're missing. But yeah, they're scary, man. I'm not gonna write them off either. Like, I know Curry's been hurt, he's been injury prone throughout the season, but when he's healthy, he those highlights I saw, because I didn't watch the game. I was busy, but I saw the highlights. He was just not missing a shot, man. Like, and Clay, if he gets in the rhythm, but yeah, that's a team that's you gotta watch out for it too in the playoffs, because they've been there. Actually, they won it last year. But it's about depth and who they get matched up with. But I feel like they're dangerous, man. And then Wiggins is coming back hopefully soon. That's another great wing player who shoot the three. So yeah, that's a team that can't be slept on with Curry and Clay.
Kyle, Doug, whichever one do you guys want to go first?
I'll go. I'll let Big Time go last. Yeah, I'm not gonna write off Golden State. They still have Steph Curry. To me, that's enough. Like, we saw how off they kind of looked when Curry missed those games a few weeks ago. But I fully think they've had a lot of long seasons together. Maybe they're a little bored in the regular season. I don't know. I expect to see them turn it up like this last week or so, left in the regular season going into the playoffs. And I do think them reacquiring Gary Payton II, I think that's going to be big for them as well in the playoffs. He's a wing defender. The only thing that might worry you about them is low post play, because right now there's basically Looney and Kuminga. And, if you, I guess like an AD, if AD was on one of his dominant runs, that might be a problem for Golden State. But as long as Curry, Clay, Draymond, and Kerr's coaching, I'm never writing off Golden State. Never.
They are the world champions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That means something. Nobody really expected them to win it last year, if we just be truthful about it. Nobody expected that. They are missing one huge piece, and I don't know if he's going to be right. If for those that have followed the Wiggins problem, and I don't know if even if he come back, his head is not going to be right. But if he is somewhat, that's a all star that you put in the lineup. So you can't and like we said earlier, 4 out of 7, you got to shut Curry down, Poole down. Let's not forget about Poole. Poole is just as lethal as Clay, and Clay, of course, has crunked this thing back up. They know how to win. They know what to do. They've done it too many times. And like I said, 4 out of 7 is gonna be hard to put them. They're gonna be a hard out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Man, what a great show for the first show of Freddie Facts back. I mean, hey, I told y'all it was going to be legendary, and I think it was exactly that. I really do, and I want to congratulate you guys, commend you guys, because you guys brought the fire. Kyle, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. We've always talked about me, you, Jordan, on the show. And just want to thank you, Jordan. I knew how to get you on the show. All I had to do was add a Lamar Jackson topic, and I knew it. I said who want to come on the show. Hey, as soon as I sent the topic, he's like, what time? I think I can be there. Yeah, I knew how to get you. And ladies and gentlemen, I know they call them big time, but every once in a while, even big time want to get taught. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Even sometimes, big time want to get taught, and that's what I had to do. He wanted to be taught, and I taught him tonight. Thank you, big time, for coming on, brother.
Go ahead, I'll let you. It's your show. I'll let you dance on the dance floor. This is your show. But please, let's not get crazy with it. Let's go.
But I want to thank all the followers, everybody that tuned in. Thank people that's going to be tuning in because it's going to be up. Make sure you follow each one of these gentlemen. Make sure you follow the Sports Empire Network because we're going to continue to put out great content. And just want to thank everybody at the Sports Empire Network for the grind. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube and all that good stuff. For another day, another time, we're out of here, you guys.
Yep.